Hello, yogis. What y'all set up here? Hope you're feeling good. I'm feeling pretty good. I got to take Elise Rose's class today before my class. And if you're not in the know about Elise, then I would say go to check her out. Works here at Black Swan as well. Dope is dope. See how that looks. That is the pose, y'all. Welcome in. We are gonna go slow today. No Ricky Bobby. We're going slow. Alright. Settings here. I'm gonna grab blocks with me today as usual, but again, I'm just gonna have them there for maybe support, but that support might not be necessary. So they're not necessary for your practice at all. Just come to your mat with your body. That's all you need. We are gonna start today on your backs. We do have a few minutes before we begin, so if you need to do anything in between that, get some blocks, blankets, towels, tissues, water. Ooh, reminder, gotta get some water. Whatever you need for practice, whatever will make you feel most comfortable, do it. We got a few minutes before we start. Welcome in, I'm glad you're here. Excuse me. Okay, y'all. 6 p.m. Slow flow. We're starting it. On your backs, where we begin. If you just joined in, welcome in. Again, my name's Jeremy. We're gonna slow flow it up. That's all we got. On your backs. So as per usual, once you get your back to the ground, decide what to do with your legs, something that's supportive. Either knees bent, and maybe this broken bridge situation where your feet step out a little wider, your knees touch so they support one another, so you don't have to hold on any tension. And a good, just nice supportive supine position. We'll be here for just a little bit, so something comfortable. If you felt like me the past few days, things just seem chaotic in your head. For me, it seems like the little things have become a little more overwhelming in the past couple of days. Almost like pinball in my head. Just things bouncing off, shooting one direction, no real time spent in one place. If you can relate to that, then follow along with your breath. Just close your eyes and begin to feel it. Feel where the breath enters at the tip of your nose. Follow it all the way down the back of your throat, feeling that air brush against, and maybe like there's a velvet texture to it. Begin to let your chest and your belly lift with all the breath you bring in. Can you breathe so deep you feel like you send air all the way down to your toes? Fill up your legs, your feet, all the way down to your extremities. I was reminded today in class about how much this is about breath. Even more so than the postures, even more so than sweating or stretching. This is about breath work. It's about you connecting to it. So for the next hour, you stay on your backs, just breathing and noticing. You've already done more from your body than you may think. Seal your lips if you haven't already, and begin your Ujjayi breathing. Start in through your nose, and then out through your nose. Keep that going. In and out. And then start your own pace. Fill up to your breath capacity. And fully empty, holding at the bottom. Fully press all your air out. And then again, fill up. Empty. Now your longest breath yet. Breathe in. Hold it at the top. Gentle hover. And then exhale your longest breath out. Hold at the bottom. Gentle hover. And then take that again. Breathe in your longest. Pause. And then breathe out for your longest breath. I want to invite you for the rest of class. Apply this depth of breathing to your poses. Warrior Two, Mountain Pose. As you transition through chaturangas or any of your movements, can they require this much breath, this much focus, and this much time spent within each one? Notice the parts that your body wants to speed through. Just like skipping chores or sweeping dust under the rug instead of sweeping it up. And notice the shortcuts. Challenge yourself to push through them. Be there fully for yourself. One more round of breath. Begin to pull your legs back in through center. If you're in Supta, grab your legs outside and pull them in together to assist them back to center. And then hug your knees to your chest. And just a couple of breaths with either some stillness to start and then movement, or just take gentle movement until you can make that movement bigger. And just take a sway left and right. From here, let your left foot touch the ground. Keep your right leg hugged in. Half happy baby on your right. Hello, Skiba. If you can't see me right now, it's because of Skiba. Skiba's 14 years old, loving his life. Half happy baby, right leg. I digress. Oh, he's checking y'all out, so scared. So this is Skiba. He's my roommate. If you're in your half happy baby and you want to go deeper, you can straighten your left leg out flat on the mat. Long left leg, heel on the ground. As you pull your right knee in and down towards the mat, kick your heel up. So resist, drive it into your hand. 2 more rounds of breath. Skiba. Skiba, can you move? Alright, re-hug your right knee back into your chest. Take an inhale. And then exhale, supine twist. Pull your knee towards the left. As you twist, take your gaze towards the right. So sorry, I don't know why he's chosen this spot to stay, but here we are. Let's keep. 4 more rounds of breath in your supine twist. And just as much focus on your breath. Can you fill up your low belly? Feel the lift of your leg as you breathe in. And then deepen and twist as you breathe out. If your right shoulder's lifted off the ground, come back into the twist until it touches. Then initiate the twist. Inhale back to center. And then send your right leg straight up to the ceiling. So you're putting a footprint on the top of your house, and then grab behind your legs. Both hands interweave behind your right thigh. Lift up, pull your thigh to your chest, kick your heel up. We're back. Hello. If you want to get deeper, walk your hands up further. Flex your toes to your face. At the same time that you drive your right heel up, press your left leg down, drive your left heel forward. You're standing on the ceiling and the front wall at the same time. 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale, release. Take both heels to the ground and then bridge pose in between. Reset. Drive into your heels, lift your hips. Let your shoulder blades spread out onto the mat. And then more pressing into your heels so that there's more weight on your traps. That way you can stretch out. Go to your tiptoes, take a breath in. And exhale, lower down to your tailbone. And then other side. So right leg stays down. Grab out inside of your leg, outside of your foot for half happy baby on the left. And same thing, you can start just like this. Right leg stays bent. Just playing with your left leg. Pull, kick, find the counter engagement within it. If you want to go further, straighten out your right leg on the mat. You can take your right hand to your right hip bone so it stays flat. You can kick your left heel up. Pull your left knee down. Two more breaths. From there, hug your left knee in towards your chest. Take a breath in. And then supine twist towards the right. Left shoulder stays down as you twist. And if your shoulder lifts, it may feel like you've gotten a lot deeper into your twist, but actually your left shoulder's twisted with you. You're not as deep as you could be. So keep your left shoulder down, then pull your knee towards the right. So again, fill up all the fibers and the tendons of your belly with breath. And then exhale, contract and twist. One more round of breath. Come back through to center, left leg up straight. Grab behind your left thigh. Kick your heel up as you pull thigh to chest. The kick your heel up initiates the engagement of your leg. And then pull so you can stretch against that. Flex your right toes, drive them forward as well. That is a much more appropriate spot to keep a very good job. Last full breath. And then hug both knees to chest. Start to wiggle left and wiggle right. And then come through to center. Draw your low belly down and in. So like you're taking your belly button to touch your spine. With that drawn in, find a gentle rock. Roll to your shoulders, roll to your tailbone. Keep that going just a little bit further. Just for 3. For 2. Smooth rolls. Last one, come back up through to center. Alright, from here, take your hands behind your hip. I want you to cross your left leg on top of your right, and then roll onto your right glute. Take your right forearm to the ground. So your hand can be by your hip, it can point out towards the side, but your right forearm's on the ground to support you, and we are rolling on your right glute. So feel some pressure here, and if you feel like a tight sensation that makes you lift up, I want you to stay there. Try to soften into that. When you feel like you've gotten some softness into that spot, then you get to search for a new spot. See where you feel it. Stay there for a couple of breaths. And you're adding pressure here. Tensing up is natural. Again, that's what happens when your body feels intense sensations, right? Prick your skin with a needle or whatever, hot stuff. You're going to tense up. You want to get away from it for a second. I want you to soften into it here. 5 more rounds of breath. You can get curious, and if you're like, I don't really feel anything, if you have a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball, you can take that underneath your glute. Guarantee you're going to get a little deeper into this posture. This is the same sensation. It's a self-myofascial release. I'm trying to find a tender area. Press back into your right arm, come back through to center, and we're taking this to the left. So, cross your legs over. You can see, lock them in place. Lower down to your left forearm. You can take it out to the side if you'd like. And roll on your left glute. Maybe toward your outer hip. Maybe somewhere in between. Drive your hip into the ground. Lift your chest away from the ground. So whatever feels intense, you're proud up away from it. It don't bother you, right? You're stoic. That's 2 rounds of breath. And only when you feel even, roll back up through to center. Take your legs out straight in front of you. Breathe in. Reach your arms up. Pause here. Flex your toes to your face. I want you to try to lengthen your legs out by pressing the back of your legs into the ground and driving your heels forward. Then lift your chest up higher from that. Can you lift your elbows up higher from that? Chase your chest to your elbows. All right, keep all of this length. So no length changes. Breathe in. On your exhale, hinge forward. So just like a door hinge, arms stay straight, spine stay straight, legs stay straight. And when you can't hinge any further forward, notice this little bounce. There's some resistance in the low back and legs. Then let your arms fall down. So now take a breath in. Pull against your legs by lifting through the back of your head. So you create this long spine. You may feel a sensation in your hamstrings or calves. That's good. Keep that length. Breathe in. And bend your elbows round your forehead to your knee on your breath out. You're going to take up that space and give yourself an accurate representation of where your edge is. And then you get to soften into your edge. So now, all those tight spots that you felt entering into the pose, attempt to soften them out. come back up through to center. Bend your knees, plant your feet flat on the ground, reverse tabletop. So your hands are going to stay flat. Press into your hands, lift your hips, and then press into your heels to lift your hips. Now, if this feels good, you can relax the crown of your head back. If that doesn't feel good, keep your gaze forward. This is great on your neck. This is an okay position to hold. If you want to go further, straighten your left leg out, straighten your right leg out, reverse plank. Point your toes down, squeeze your glutes to lift your hips. 3 more rounds of breath, whichever one you've chosen. Squeeze your shoulders together, widen your chest. 1 more round of breath. And then lower your hips down to the ground. Swing your legs out to the side, and let's meet in tabletop. Start off with some rounds of cat-cow to start. And just lower your belly, pull your tailbone, point your tailbone up and pull your chest forward. And around, press the ground away. Can you press through all 10 finger pads? Press through your knuckles. Drive your shoulders to the ceiling. And then again, inhale, pull forward, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose, round. Keep that going. You've got about 6 rounds of breath in cat-cow. And again, slow as your breath capacity allows. If you've already started to speed up, check in. Can you slow it down? Does that relate to the rest of your life? In the way that you take care of responsibilities or push past them? Can you be there fully with them? One full round of breath. All right, from here, back into neutral tabletop. Flip to the top of your left foot so you can press the top of your left foot down into the ground. You can feel that activation of your hip. Bring your right leg out to a fire hydrant. So knee stays bent, but knee in line with your hip. And start to draw some circles. Towards the ground, up and back. And then reverse your circles. Forward, back, and down. All right, come back to a neutral tabletop. Fire hydrant out to the side, and then extend your right leg out. Plant it flat on the ground. So your arch of your right foot is in line with your left knee. You can take your left knee out a little bit wider, so it's going to be wider than your ankle behind you, a little bit closer to the edge of your mat. Begin to press your hips towards your heels. Take this hybrid child's pose, inner thigh stretch. 4 rounds of breath. Press into the top of your left leg, shift forward, back into your fire hydrant. Draw a circle one direction, draw a circle the other direction, back to tabletop. Take a round of cat-cow in between. Pull forward, inhale, tucking round your spine on an exhale. Back through to neutral, flip to the top of your right foot, and then take it into your fire hydrant. And out to the side, draw some circles. So you're flossing out tension. And then reverse your circles. Back to the neutral, send it to fire hydrant, then extend your leg out, bring it to the ground. So bring this flat part of your foot to the mat, in line with your right knee. You can take your right knee wider out to the side and give yourself more space, and then press hips back to heels. 4 rounds of breath. And press into the pinky side of your left foot so your foot's flat. Stretch all the way through your shin, your calf. Press into the top of your right foot. Shift forward, inhale. Back to your fire hydrant. Draw a circle one direction. Draw it the other direction. Then come back through to neutral, tabletop. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Come back to neutral, take your knees wide, child's pose. Let your chest relax towards the ground, your forehead can touch. The wider your knees go, the more space you make for your torso. And then can you add more pressure? Press into your hands. You drive your hips to your heels. We'll start a little flow together. You can take into account what's happened in your body so far. Question, is that what you want? And in what way can you adjust that if it's not? And you're in the driver's seat. You have ultimate control over where your body goes, what happens, and how you feel at the end. Make this completely about you. So unite our breath. Take an inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Breathe in through your nose. Seal your lips. Exhale through your nose, Ujjayi breath. All right, shift forward to tabletop. Tuck your toes, then press your hips up and back, down dog. Let these first few rounds of breath in down dog be about finding familiarity. Once again, you get to seek out tightness, seek out mobility. Look for them with the same mindset of caring, of understanding, of being soft, ready to accept, rather than looking with any negativity or disdain. Come back through to a neutral, still downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look forward on an inhale. Then exhale, take tiny steps forward. Keep pressing into your hands, keep lifting your hips. You're driving into your hands as if you could still put all of your weight in them. And then fold at the top of your mat. Get a little passive to start. And if this is the first time that you've really been in a forward fold for the day, there may be a lot of tightness happening. And your job is to observe it. Find some softness within it. And then adjust for anything that can't find any softness there. Whether you put more strength or relax a little more, submit to it a little more. From here, take your hands, grab for your ankles. So your fingers point forward, your heels rather will come into the palms of your hands. I want you to pull your hands into your heels and then press your heels into your hands so you start to straighten your leg. Tuck your chin toward your chest. So get long through your spine. So add a little pressure. You notice what it feels like, active versus passive. And then you get to choose whether you make your poses more active, pulling in, or more passive, submitting. Release your hands, bend your knees, and then slide up to stand. Take it slow. Unravel your spine. Once you've gotten yourself tall, draw your shoulders to your ears, up, back, and down. And then take that a couple times. Make it feel good. And then reverse. All right, come back to center. Step your feet to wherever's comfortable. So that may be hips width distance. That could be touching. That could be a little bit further apart. Feel what feels good for you. Maybe that takes a few rounds of breath. Take that time. And then once you're ready, reach your hands up to mountain pose. Extend your arms. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, back bend. So squeeze your elbows to your ribs. I want you to squeeze your thighs together as well. Try to make your elbows touch on your back and try to jut your heart to the front of the room. Inhale back up to mountain. Let's do that twice. We'll do it nice and slow. Exhale, back bend. Elbows squeeze to your ribs. Lift your heart. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, back bend. And inhale, reach back up to mountain. On your exhale, Samastahiti, hands to your heart. Close your eyes. Your next inhale, reach up mountain pose, open your eyes, extend. On your exhale, back bend. Let's take that last time together. Inhale back to mountain. Then exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, hinge at your hips, and with a flat, long spine, fold over your legs. A slow journey down. Take a halfway lift. Inhale, press into your legs. You can get long through your spine. Tuck your chin to your chest so even the back of your neck gets long. Then exhale, fold. Do that twice. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Again, inhale halfway, lift. Maybe pause and lift your hands off of your legs. Squeeze your shoulders together and then pull them down away from your ears. So your shoulders are locked, holding your upper half stationary. You're growing long from your hips. One more breath in. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot to the back of your mat. Lower your left knee down towards the ground. And then twist your right hand up. Low lunge twist. And work to get your right knee in line with your left shoulder. So they're nice and stacked. Your left wrist is in line with your right ankle. And reach your right hand up. And if you want to take this further, spin your left elbow pit forward. So left bicep spins to the front of the room. Drag your chest forward. So pull your palm of your hand back. Traction it against your mat. And then to go further, squeeze your glutes so everything stays stationary. Bend your right elbow. Try to squeeze your elbow onto your back. Drive the ground away with your left hand. 3 more breaths. Last round, try to pull your left knee forward toward your right heel. And inhale, reach up. Exhale, both hands down to the ground, half splits. Flex your right toes, pull your hips back. This is always my cue to grab blocks. I love blocks in this pose. Once again, find length in the back of your neck, tucking your chin toward your chest. And then try to lengthen your ears forward. Can you pull your right hip back? Can you also at the same time press your right heel forward? Two more breaths. Last round. All right, shift forward, back into your low lunge. So both hands touch the ground. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee, and then standing splits. So shift forward, float on your left leg. Right leg is straight. Drive it into the ground. So your right leg is completely straight. Then rotate your left pinky toe down, your left outer hip down, and then try to drive your left foot straight behind you. So like you're standing on the wall and on the ground at the same time. A nice L shape with your legs. 3 more breaths here. Drive the ground away with your right foot. Take a breath in, squeeze your left glute to lift your left heel. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your right leg and step your left foot by your right. Inhale to a halfway lift. You can reset your spine. Exhale, low lunge. Right foot steps back. Right knee down to the ground. Twist. Left hand up. So again, this twist can be where you stay. If you want to go further, spin your right bicep forward. So your elbow will point to the back of the room. Squeeze your thighs together and then pull your heart forward to the front of the room. Either stay there or bend your left elbow, squeeze it onto your back. Open up your heart. Last breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, both hands down, half splits. So for half splits, if it felt like you were a little constricted, once you flex your toes, toe heel your left foot forward. See if that gets you some more space to work your hips back. If that doesn't work, try walking your right knee back instead. And then same thing, pull your hips back, flex your toes, and you're dragging your left hip back. So you're trying to bump your left pocket, back pocket to the back wall, and then try to touch the left sole of your foot to the front of the room. You can round forehead to knee, you can stay lifted, pulling your chest forward, staying active. Again, your decision to find active poses or passive poses. 2 more rounds. Ready, bend your left leg. Both hands down to the ground, tuck your back toes. Standing splits. So lift your knee, shift forward, float your right leg up. Breath in, squeeze your glute, lift your right heel higher. Stay for your exhale. You got 2 more rounds of breath. Little presumptive on that. One more round. Now take a breath in. Squeeze your right glute, lift your right heel. Exhale, forward fold, both feet together. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Bend your legs, inhale all the way up to mountain pose. Reach out, reach up. Exhale, Samasthiti, hands to your heart. Notice your breath, notice your heart rate. Notice if the blood rushed from your head. Find all those sensations and be with them. Let's take this a little bit quicker. Still breath to movement, but nice and slow. Again, your deep, controlled Ujjayi breath in and out through your nose. When you're ready, on an inhale, reach your hands down, out, and up for mountain pose. Exhale, back bend. Squeeze elbows to ribs. And inhale, reach up to mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your legs, hinge at your hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Your exhale, low lunge. Left foot back, left knee down. Inhale, twist your right hand up. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Maybe squeeze your elbow onto your back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, low lunge, both hands down. Half splits. Pull your right hip back. Full breath in. Full breath out. Shift forward, tuck your back toes, lift your knee. Standing splits. Left leg floats. Breathe in, lengthen, maybe walk your hands forward. Exhale to fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold, right leg steps back, low lunge, right knee down. Inhale, twist, left arm up. Exhale, bend your elbow, twist deeper. Inhale, extend. Exhale, low lunge. Half splits. Breathe in, lift. Exhale, deepen. Shift forward, back into your low lunge, tuck your back toes, lift your knee, standing splits. Right leg floats. Breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. A little different, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, tabletop. Step both feet to plank, then lower your knees down to the ground. Inhale, pull your belly forward, cow pose. Exhale, press and round to cat. Hold your cat pose, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Breathe in, shift forward to high plank. Lower all the way to your belly on your breath out. Slow and controlled. Cobra pose, flip to the tops of your feet. Inhale, cobra, lift your chest. Exhale, fold. Get powerful through your feet, drive them into the mat. Inhale, lift, cobra pose. Exhale, release. Twice more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. One more time, lift. Exhale, release. Tuck your toes, lift your tailbone off the ground to start. Inhale to a high plank. So one straight line, hips stay in line with your shoulders. Down dog on your exhale. Full breath in. Full breath out. All right, so we'll make that a flow as well, adding in your Cobra Pose. If you'd rather switch it to Chaturanga, I'll cue for Chaturanga. And you know Cobra Pose now. You can choose that if you'd like. On your next breath in, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step or float forward, top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to a mountain pose. Get tall, extend out. Exhale, back bend. Squeeze elbows to ribs. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge. Left foot back, left knee down. Twist your right hand up. Breathe in. Squeeze your elbow into your back. Breathe out. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, both hands down. Half splits. Full inhale, lengthen. Deepen on your breath out. Shift forward. Tuck your back toes. Lift your knees. Standing splits. Breathe in. Fold on your breath out. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, low lunge, right leg back, right knee down. Inhale, twist, left arm up. Exhale, squeeze your elbow onto your back. Inhale up. Exhale, both hands down to half splits. Breathe in and lift. Breathe out and deepen. Shift forward, inhale, standing splits. Tuck your toes, lift your right leg. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. High plank, breathe out. Again, shift forward, breathe in. Option for Cobra or Chaturanga, lower halfway down. Option to use your knees. Inhale to upward facing dog. Pull your heart through your arms if you're going here. Downward facing dog on your exhale. Hips up and back. Breath in. Breath out. All right, from here, shift forward back to your high plank. Lower your right knee down towards the ground and then swing it behind you towards the right. So it's perpendicular to your mat, setting up for a side plank variation. So you can be on the inside arch of your left foot. Flex your toes towards your face for support. Drive your right hand down so your right shoulder lengthens. Use that lengthening to get your left fingertips a little higher. Try spirit fingers. Wiggle your fingers to get them a little higher. And drive your right knee down. Take a breath in. And then on your exhale, twist. Bring your right arm, or left arm rather, underneath your right. And inhale, reach it back up. Exhale, thread it under. Do that twice more. Inhale, open up, twist. Exhale, deepen your twist. Last time in. Out. Inhale, reach up. And then back to your high plank. Lower your left knee down. Swing it to the left. Side plank, other side. We're going to get strong through your side plank first. Drive your left hand down, your left knee down, and your right foot down. Everything that touches the ground, press it down. Take a breath in. Exhale, thread. Right arm underneath your left. Find a slight twist. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. In and up. Exhale, twist. Last two. In. Out. In. And out. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, back to your high plank. Retrace your steps. Breathe in and shift forward. Chaturanga on your breath out. Clean your slate. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Your right leg high, breathe in. And then low lunge step to your hands on your breath out. So from here, lower your left heel down, set up like warrior two legs. Then walk your hands off the left side of your mat. So slow stretch. Palms flat on the ground. Walk it to the left until your right hip and your right, what are we talking about? Right side body and right inner thigh don't touch. Your hips right in the middle. So keep those separated. And then press your hips towards the right. Keep strong as if you were in warrior two. So can you press your right heel down and forward? Can you press your left foot down and back? Give your head a shake yes and no. Let's do 3 more rounds of breath here. And whatever you're feeling build up fire in your right leg, try to soften that with your breath. And you're stoking fire without overheating. 1 more round of breath. Come back in through to center. Lift your left heel back off the ground. Lower your left knee down. Inhale to a kneeling crescent lunge. Navasana. So both arms extend up. Take your palms to touch above your head. Bend your elbows so your thumbs can come to the nape of your neck. Then squeeze your elbows in towards one another. Press your head into the back of your thumbs. And then lift your elbows up. Now find some activation through your thighs. Like you're going to pull your left knee forward to your right heel. So keep that dragging forward. That's your support so that your chest can lift. Again, your strong base so everything else above it can be light, airy, and expansive. Breath in, reach back up to kneeling crescent lunge. On your exhale, revolved kneeling crescent. Left elbow to your right knee. If this is enough, stay here. Press into your elbows. Once again, your belly's not on your thigh, if at all possible. Draw your belly up and in. Press to lift and twist. If you want to take this further, bring your left elbow outside of your knee so that you can open up your wings and expand. At the same time that you're pressing elbow into right knee, press your right knee back into your elbow. One more round of breath. Your inhale, reach back up to kneeling crescent lunge. On your exhale, both hands down to the ground. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee. Three-legged dog, right leg high. Bend your leg, stack your hips, squeeze heel to glute. Notice any weight that's unevenly distributed. Put equal weight back through both hands. Right shoulder towards the ground, left shoulder lifts. Squeeze right heel to glute to lift, and then flip your dog. Right foot to the ground. You can take wild thing to where your right leg is still bent, but left leg is straight like a side plank. Or you can bend both legs, like a reverse tabletop. Wherever you are, take a breath in together. And then exhale, hands down to the ground. If you want to vinyasa, vinyasa. If you want to skip, skip it. I've been doing vinyasas a lot today, so I'm going to skip. No shame if you skip, no shame if you take it. It's all about you. Other side, though. Take your left leg high, breathe in. And then exhale, low lunge, step it through to your hands. Right heel down. Again, like you're going to go into warrior two. And then walk your hands all the way over towards the right. So again, torso off of your thigh. And then press your hands into the ground, almost like a downward facing dog. Right, so warrior two, down dog, hybrid stretch. And breathe here. Notice what you're overly tightening up. Is it your jaw? Is it your left glute? Can you add some softness there? 2 more rounds of breath. Press back into your hands, walk them back through to center. Lift your right heel off the ground and lower your right knee, Anjaneyasana. Reach both arms up. So again, there's still that squeeze. Right heel or right knee pulls forward towards your left heel. Palms touch above your head and then thumbs to the back of your neck. Squeeze the elbows in, lift them up. So again, lift up your elbows and then chase your elbows with your heart. You still pull forward, maybe finding some more depth into your lunge, but a lift into your torso and arms. Full round of breath. And inhale, reach up. Exhale, kneeling revolved crescent. Right elbow to the left knee. And belly draws up and in so it's strong and tight. And then press into your arms. You're creating more rotation even though you already have that tightness through your core. Let your breath stretch out the tightness. One more round of breath. Inhale, reach back up, kneeling crescent. And then exhale, both hands down to the ground. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee. Inhale to three-legged dog. Left leg high. Bend your legs, stack your hips. And notice what's resisting you on the right side as you open up. Notice that your right shoulder drop. Lift it back in line with your left, even through your torso. Then let your foot fall to the side for wild thing or flip dog. And you choose the version that suits you best. Maybe you just stay with your leg lifted. Your three-legged dog, that's just as good. All together, breathe in. And exhale, hands down and flow. Down dog is where we meet, yeah. Full breath in. Full breath out. All right, from down dog, lift your right leg high and then cross it over your left to where your right pinky toe is close to your left pinky toe. Bend your knees, walk your hands to the back of your mat, forward fold with crossed legs. So you can be in enough sensation here, let your top of your head fall towards the ground. If you want more, walk your hips towards the right, gently with mindfulness, press them towards the left. through the center. Plant your palms flat. Walk them back to the top of your mat. Three-legged dog. Right leg high. And down dog. And then right to the other side. Left leg lifts. Breathe in. Step it outside of your right leg. Breathe out. Bend your knees. Walk your hands to the back. And then towards the left as you see fit. Shake your head yes and no. Let it get heavy. Last breath. Back through center. Palms flat. Walk them to the top. Downward facing dog. Lift your left leg high. And both feet together. Bend your knees on an inhale. Look forward. Then exhale. Step or float to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Breathe in. Fold on your breath out. Inhale to a chair pose. Bend your knees. Lift your hands up above your head. Take your strong chair. And there's a slight tuck of your tailbone underneath you and forward so that your hip points lift and that your low back can support you a little bit more. Your arms reach up, breathe in. On your exhale, prayer twist towards the right. So left elbow to your right knee. Pull your left hip back so your left knee is completely in line with your right knee. Belly up and in. Press elbow into your right knee. Press your right knee back into your elbow. Allow that to deepen your twist. Two more breaths. The slowest breath yet. Inhale back to chair pose. Exhale, prayer twist to the left. Whew, right into it. No rest for the weary, right? Pull your right hip back, belly up and in. Press right elbow to left knee. Press left knee right back into your elbow. And then use that to sit deeper in your chair, to twist deeper through your core. Two more breaths. Long spine. Different this time. Inhale, mountain pose. Straighten your legs, get long. Reach your thumbs to the back of the room so you find a back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees. Fold over your legs. Halfway lift, inhale. Then ball pose. Lift your heels. Bend your knees so you can bring your hips to your heels. And then hug your knee into your chest. Maybe with one leg. Tuck your forehead towards your knees. If you want to get more challenge with your balance, squeeze ankles together. Wrap both hands around your legs like you're giving them the biggest embrace. Thanking them for the movement they give you. For the gift that it is, even though we tend to let it go. Thank you for the movement you provide. One more breath in. And then exhale, lower your hips down to the ground. Take a seat into Navasana, boat pose, y'all. Man, I have a love-hate relationship with this pose, but been taking a lot more teachers' classes lately in the studio, and they've been doing it, so guess what? I've been doing it too, so guess what? Y'all been doing it too. Communities, am I right? Take your strongest boat pose. I want to take a breath in, reach both hands up like you're holding a big beach ball. And then exhale, take that beach ball to the left. Inhale back through to center. And then exhale, take it to the right. Keep it going. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale. Exhale to the right. Breath to movement on your own breath. Remember your slow inhales and slow exhales. I know you don't want to breathe slow right now. You don't want to move slow. Can you move slow? Just for 4. For 3. Last 2. Last 1, even out. Reach up through center, breathe in. Roll onto your back, breathe out. Couple times up and down. Feel a release. And then roll all the way onto your back. Both heels to the ground, bridge pose. Drive down to lift up. Counterbalance, counter posture. All of that activation in your front line. So, how much can you recruit your glutes to lift your front line? So squeeze thigh to thigh, squeeze glute to glute, and then drag your shoulders down into the ground like you're squeezing them onto your back. With that lift, can you now press more into your feet? Find a slight tuck of your chin to your chest, but then feel that lengthening of the back of your neck as you drive your heels into the ground. So this is the active version. You can take this a little more passive, but again, you get to choose. Where's power? Where's relief? 3 more rounds of breath. From there, lower your hips back down to the ground. Hug your knees to your chest. Wiggle them left. Wiggle them right. Okay, we are meeting in a chair pose. I'm going to rock and roll up the length of your spine into that chair. Challenge yourself to roll from your back onto your feet. See if you can do it without using your hands, or maybe use your hands for support. All good. Take it away. We'll meet up in chair pose in 3, and 2, chair pose in 1. Find your way there. Adjust how you need. Again, where you land doesn't have to be where you stay. All right, on a breath in, one-legged mountain pose. Lift your left knee with you. And notice, especially if you're fresh on your core there, on your boat pose twist, notice your core turning on rather than your pocket area. So it should be more of your stomach rather than just where your pockets are. If that part's turned on, release, give it a shake. I want you to take it back to center, squeeze your thighs together. So turn on inside of your thigh like you're squeezing it to your right thigh. Take a breath in here, and then exhale, kick your left heel forward, straighten out your legs. We've been doing this for probably an entire month. 3 rounds of breath. And notice if it's heel in line with your hip or heel towards the ground. That's okay. Just make sure it's not bent, that it's straight. And then inhale back to one-legged mountain. Then exhale, slowly step back into a crescent lunge with airplane arms. So step your foot back, just like we did before, except your knees lifted. Then extend your arms behind you, like you've got a cape on, and you're trying to run your super duper fastest. Squeeze shoulders together, lean your chest out. All right, somebody caught you in a sports photo, taking off, super you. 3 more rounds of breath. And then inhale, high crescent lunge. So press through your right foot, extend your arms up above your head to stack. Elbows on top of shoulders, shoulders on top of hips. Three more breaths here. Can you allow yourself to deepen into your front lunge? Is your knee going past your ankle? Is it going past your toes? Walk your foot forward. That just means you have more space to work with. Yeah, extra credit, right? Take 1 more breath in, reach high. Exhale, warrior 2. Spin your left heel down. Start to widen out your hips. So we already took this in your legs earlier. You just had your hands to deepen. Now your hands are lifted. Can you still deepen with your legs? Press them away from one another. Find a slight tuck of your tailbone forward to the front left corner. Touch your left glute, turn it on. Allow that to press your left foot behind you, so it's propelling you forward. Your right foot is pressing forward, so it's resisting against that propulsion. 3 more rounds of breath. I'm feeling that burn. I hope you're feeling it too. Ooh, dog. 1 more breath. Inhale, reverse triangle. Ooh, feel that release. Tuck your tailbone forward, like you're trying to point it to your right heel. That's the culprit, the heel. Point it there. Call it out. Breath in, and exhale, triangle pose. Reach forward, tip your hips back. Now point your tailbone to your left heel. That's the culprit now. Then lower your right arm down, left arm up. Again, squeeze glutes together. You squeeze your thighs together. Now press right arm into right leg, so you twist your chest open towards the left side of the room. As if a wall suddenly popped up on the left side of your mat and was closing in on your chest. It's going to hit every part of your body at the same time, because you've streamlined it open. 2 more breaths. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And one more time, point your tailbone forward. On your exhale, low lunge, hands to the ground. Step back to a high plank. Breathe in. Chaturanga on your breath out. You get to flow or you get to skip. Down dog, breathe in, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step or float forward, top of your mat. Halfway lift and hip. Exhale, fold. One more time, inhale to mountain pose. Straight arm back bend, reach your thumbs to the back of the room. Exhale, hands to your heart, Samastahiti. Final side, slow flow. Then we'll move on to stretch. Shift your weight to your left leg. Inhale, one-legged mountain, right leg lifts. You can check in with the pocket area. Did that turn on? It's going to turn on a little bit. I mean, those are your hip flexors. It helps you move your leg. But is it overworking? Can you squeeze thighs together? Like you're trying to drive your knee forward without letting your right hip go forward with it. Squeeze side to thigh, drive it forward. Breathe in. Exhale, kick your heel forward. 3 rounds of breath. Inhale, one-legged mountain. On your exhale, crescent lunge, airplane arms. We call it lightning warrior. Step your foot back, extend your arms back. Again, fingers extend wide, like you just gripped onto your cape, and then squeeze your shoulders together, widen it out, catch all that air. Two more rounds of breath. With control, inhale, high crescent lunge. Drive through your left foot, reach up. Once again, you're finding that depth, stretching your elbows up, chase your heart to your elbows. Last round of breath. All together, inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. Widen out your stance. So again, to continually find space here. For me, that means walking my left foot a little further forward so that I can fully widen out. And this is the side that gives me trouble. So if that means that your entire 5 to 8 rounds of breath are spent adjusting the entire time, take that. That means you got 8 more rounds of breath with some awareness. Eventually that can probably turn into like 6 rounds of breath. And like 3. And then you can spend the rest soaking up the shape. No shame. Drive your feet apart. 2 more rounds. And then inhale, reverse triangle. Straighten your left leg. Point your tailbone forward. As you point it forward, let your right hip lower and your left hip lift. And breathe in. Exhale, triangle pose. Point your tailbone to your right heel. Lower left arm down, right arm up. Once again, find a flatness through the front line of your body. Drive left arm into left leg and left leg back into your arm. Then envision that wall popping up on the right side of your mat, pressing up against your body. Flatten it against it. 2 more breaths. Strong your posture. Inhale, reverse triangle. Squeeze your thighs together. Point your tailbone forward. Last time in. Exhale, low lunge. One more time. Step it back to high plank. Inhale. Chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale, forward. Exhale. Press it back. All right, lift your right leg high. And then runner's lunge or lizard lunge. Step it outside of your right hand. So for me, I found the most space in an active version of this posture. We say active, but meaning left leg lifted. So you're engaged to keep everything lifted. If you find more space with left knee down, you don't have to worry about balance, take that. Wherever you are in this pose, drive your right heel down, feel that rotation of your right hip. From there, pull your chest forward. Without letting your hips get much lower, especially if you're in the active version, those are going to be maintained in their height, and you try to drag your chest, stretch away from that. more rounds of breath. Option to stay or lower your left knee down, kick heel to glute, quad stretch. Reach your right hand back and grab the outside of your foot. Pull your heel in. At the same time, kick your foot back into your hand. So just like before, squeeze your thighs together. Drag your heart forward. Pull your heel in. Resist by kicking it back into your hand. Close your eyes, pinpoint sensations. Be with those sensations. Watch them as they soften. Last round of breath. And gently release your leg. One more time, hands to the ground, tuck your back toes, lift your knee. Three-legged dog, right leg high, inhale. Half pigeon on your exhale, right knee to right wrist. Walk your left leg back. I'm taking lifted version, so I'm going to keep the lifted version going. If you'd rather go ahead and lower your chest to the ground, take it away. Otherwise, walk your hands in towards your legs. Press your shins down so you don't have to use your hands anymore. Your legs support you to lift. Reach your hands above your head. Palms come to touch. Bring the thumbs to the back of your neck. And then lift your elbows. Chase your heart to your elbows. Try to pull your left knee forward. Use all this length. Take a breath in. Extend your arms up. On your exhale, hinge forward into your half pigeon. I'm going to block under my chest so that I have more support. If you need the block to your chest to lower down, take it away. If you have a half pigeon on your elbows, on your forearms, or maybe even on your hands, that's just as good. Own that shape. Come back to that deep breathing you started class with your eyes closed. Take your focus to your right hip. Where do you feel the most sensation? And what does that sensation feel like? Does your mind keep shooting back and forth to different thoughts, different scenarios when you think about that sensation? Again, nothing to change, just observe it. And then for the next 5 full rounds of breath, I want you to take your deepest inhales and your deepest exhales. And let those areas you pinpointed start to soften. Three more rounds. Full breath. When you're done on this side, walk your hands back in towards your legs. Press yourself back up. Tuck your back toes, lift your knees, start to retrace your steps back to three-legged dog, and then decide what to do. Draw circles. If you want to take it to a flip dog like we had earlier, open up. I feel like I'm opened enough from the classes that I took earlier, so I'm going to skip. Make them about you. And then come back to three-legged or down dog when you're finished with your right side. You can take as long as you need. When you're ready, left leg high, breathe in. Runner's lunge on your exhale. Step outside of your left hand. Some call it lizard lunge. Doesn't really matter. As long as you're in the shape. The names are irrelevant. A rose by any other name would be just as sweet, right? Pull your chest forward. You pull your right knee like you're dragging it towards the front of the room. It's in like marshmallow fluff or some thick, sticky mud. Pull it forward so you've got a lot of power. And 4 more rounds of breath. Again, your version of runner's lunge or lizard lunge. One more round of breath. Let something soften. And then all together, lower your right knee to the ground. Kick your right heel to glute. Inhale, reach your left hand up, and then quad stretch. Pull heel in. At the same time, kick your foot back into your hand. Three more rounds of breath. Lift your chin up away from your chest so you get more openness through your throat. Last full round. Release gently your back leg. Tuck your back toes. Lift your knee. Three-legged dog. Inhale. Half pigeon. Exhale. Knee to your wrist. Walk your right knee back. I'm already feeling sensational through that one, but gotta finish out the sides, even them out, right? Walk your hands back, get lifted on your legs. Arms extend up. Breathe in, palms touch, look up. Exhale, thumbs to the back of your neck. Squeeze your elbows in. Lift them up as you again pull your right knee, right hip forward. Drive your left shin down. Full breath. And inhale, extend your arms. Exhale, fold into half pigeon. One side is inevitably different than the other, so be okay letting that side go with less support, maybe more support. So let go of that thought that they're going to be equal and that you're broken if they're not equal. So you're not. You're one side dominant. Maybe you dealt with injuries or walking patterns, wrong shoes. So many possibilities. But how can you show up for those possibilities? Again, pinpoint an area on your left leg, thigh, hip, glute. And then for these last 5 rounds of breath, soften something within there. If nothing softens within those 5 breaths, again, you're not broken. It's all a practice. There's always next time. Let it go just as gently. Full breath. And then retrace your steps your way back into a 3-legged dog. It can be slow, methodical. For your left leg, draw some circles if it felt good. Maybe stack your hips, flip your dog. Back to downward facing dog once you're finished. From there, bend your knees and look forward. And then step all the way through to a seat. Take your legs out in front of you, wide as you would like. We're going to take a seated, wide leg, forward fold. And if that means that you bend your knees, bend your knees. Just like we started, take a breath in, lift your hands up above your head, get long through your spine. Feel this slight pointing of your tailbone backwards to lift your chest a little higher. If you try to have to bend your knees to make that happen, that's okay. Keep your knees bent the whole time. Take a breath in. Exhale, fold forward. If you bend your knees, again, notice how much more space is there. For me, this is like infinitesimally more space than I have with straight legs. But notice with these bent legs, then you get to add onto your practice the power aspect of it. Driving your heels forwards, like you're pressing down into the ground with the backs of your legs to continually lengthen. Great book called The Genius of Flexibility that spoke literally about this, about the edges that we come to in our practice of stretching, which yoga falls into that for sure. And there's this sense that stretching is static. You just hold, there's nothing more to it. But when you add in counter engagement, counter pressure, antagonist with your muscles, then you can start to find more space. Muscles can let go because the other one's got its back. It's holding on for it. Back through to center, then take your legs together. Breathe in, again, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Legs together. Take a counter pose in a moment. Let your low back relax, but you let your forehead get heavy towards your knees. Inhale up through center. Hands extend in front of you. Tuck your tailbone underneath you. So you're still lifted, right? And slowly as you can, lower onto your back. So you're rounding your low back, your middle back, all the way to your shoulders. Once you've got that, bend your knees, bring your heels into your glutes. 3 rounds of bridge or some sort of back bend. So if you want to stay with bridge or maybe take it to wheel, you can do wheel each time if you'd like. I'm going to keep it with bridge. When you're ready, drive into your heels, lift your hips. Bridge number 1. If you want further, drive your elbows and shoulders down into the ground. If you want even further, clasp your hands underneath your low back. Drive your triceps into the mat to lift your hips. Breathe for 3, 2. Last full breath. Squeeze your thighs together, lift your hips. Keep that lift up onto your tiptoes. Inhale. Release your bind, lower onto your back. Exhale. All right, second round, second option. Take bridge. If you want to go to wheel, go to wheel. You're already halfway there in bridge. Just hands by your ears and press up. When you're ready, drive down to lift. Now you're in your bridge. If you want to take this further, lift up one leg, drive it up to the ceiling. Can you keep your hips lifted in the exact same line that they were when your both feet were down? And then switch. Right heel down, left leg lifts. Drive it up. To help with this, drive your triceps down. Maybe clasp your hands to help. Both feet down to the ground. Lift onto your tiptoes. Inhale. Lower to your spine. Exhale. Tailbone touches last. Whew. If you want a broken bridge in between, take your feet wide. Knock your knees in, left and right. Last round, you choose. Bridge, wheel, maybe even a different version. You know your body. Bring your heels in, drive them down to lift your hips. Wheel or bridge. One of my favorite bridge positions is a bridge with a figure 4 leg. Because again, the goal here is to press your right knee down and away. And guess what? Your right hip goes with you. So now you got to keep them both lifted. Use the fulcrum that is your right ankle and left knee to open up your inner thigh. And then take that to the other side. Again, left hip stays lifted as you press your left knee down and out. You're rotating it out. Come back to center. Lift your tiptoes. Breathe in. Lower to your tailbone. Exhale. Hug your knees to chest. Give them a squeeze. Compress yourself. Lengthen your left leg out. Half happy baby. Right leg. Grab for your foot and then drive your heel up. Pull your knee down. There's some differences. It may be subtle. I want you to be aware of those differences. Be there for them. Find some gratitude for yourself for sticking it out long enough to find those. Bend your right leg, hug it to your chest, breathe in. Twist to the left on your breath out. Supine twist. Right shoulder and elbow stay down. Again, just like we started. 4 rounds of breath. Expand your belly. Contract your belly. 3 more on your own. Last one. Through the center. Switch out your legs. Half happy baby on the left. Ready? Bend your leg, hug your knee to chest, inhale. Supine twist to the right on your exhale. Left shoulder stays down. Your final biggest breath yet. Through the center. Hug your knees to chest for your last time. Round your forehead towards your knees. You're compressing everything in. And like you're crushing all the things that you've just done. Compact it in. Breathe in. Exhale, Shavasana. Extend your legs out. Begin to take up space on your mat. You're honoring the expansion and the contraction, the push and the pull of your practice. Now is your time to take up space. Let the control of your breath go. Let the focus of your breath go. And just simply watch. A silent observer to whatever comes up. Shavasana. I would recommend here is turning off your computer or your app, telling Siri, set a timer for 5 minutes, and let yourself soak up 5 minutes of stillness. That frantic thought process that I spoke of at the beginning of class is often just a disconnect, a sense of not grounding. Use these 5 minutes to yourself to ground. Part of that grounding means to watch your thoughts and see the patterns, to see what triggers what. If you're following along and you're ready to end your practice together, start wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, and deepening your breath. Come back to that strong, long breath. Tilt your chin left and right, reawaken your neck. And then take your hands above your head, good morning stretch. As long as your body possibly can, point your toes to the end of your mat. Stretch your fingers long, again, spirit finger up to the center. And then hug knee to chest. Roll to one side, fetal pose. Use your bicep as a pillow. Think back to your practice and whatever was the most challenging for you, whether it was going slow and you wanted to go fast, whether it was balancing or anything that it was that challenged you. Find some gratitude for it. Look it in the face and say, thank you. Thank you for the obstacle. Thank you for making my mind and my body work in a different way. With your eyes still closed, press up to a seat, top of your mat. Your hands to your heart. Press your thumbs into your heart and then lift your chest right back up into your thumbs. this proud, lifted stance, and acknowledging the light, love, student, and teacher in one another. We bow towards one another to share the word. Namaste. Welcome to the other side, yogis. We made it. And thank you so much for showing up. First of all, for yourself. Second off, for showing up for the community. We're still going strong. Still doing everything in spite of all the things that are going on. So thank you so much for your support so far. If you can continue, our donation is still going live at blackswanyoga.com/live. Again, that goes 100% to the teachers. So thank you for your support so far. If you have any requests, anything that you would have liked to have seen here or maybe not like to have seen, shout out. Let us know what's up. We'd love to build these classes more specific to what you need. So let us know what you like and we'll go from there. Again, have a great rest of your week. I'll see you tomorrow at noon here on YouTube. Namaste, yogis.